Very nice. Front and back. Leader's garment. Quite happy.
It's alright, isn't it? Looks pretty good in that bad boy.
Excellent, I think the word you're looking for is... Look at that thing. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? Beautiful.
Now, only if you're ready for this.
Welcome back to the OTB podcast, the original and still the best New Zealand mountain bike podcast, brought to you by Troy Designs, Smith Optics, and Filthy Bike Wash, and partnering with the Waka 100 this year to put us through another 100 Ks of pain, but we're all there for it. We love it. Red Dog's even on a rest week, I hear. Red Dog, are you fully fledged trainer this year, mate?
Yeah, I am actually. I am on a rest week, Kerry. It's been a big block.
Oh, you're into blocks.
Don't worry about it, mate.
Right,
We've got a plan for you. It's okay. We're coming.
Right.
What have you been doing, Red Dog? Just some big Ks or?
Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Oh, he's keeping it under wraps.
He's keeping the cards close to his chest, isn't he?
Look, I need everything I can to come out on top here.
I reckon,
Right.
KB, I reckon we've got a sleeper on our hands. This is gonna be Red Dog All Mountain Shredder turned Red Dog Complete XC endurance guy.
Yeah, I mean, you can't sleep on Red Dog because he's gritty. He'll just dig in. So,
I wouldn't
Might
be
have
much
to,
good to sleep on, I don't reckon.
no, you wouldn't be.
Come up with a
Be
quick
more-
back.
Too bony.
Your pull-out couch was probably more comfortable than sleeping on you the other week.
That
But,
thing's not bad, eh? It's not bad.
Yeah, it was all right. We're into pull-out couch chat, so everyone's going to be enjoying this one thoroughly. But also, as always, Lester Perry, thanks for joining us here, Lester.
Hey, lads. Good to be back.
And of course, it wouldn't be the OTV podcast without kids getting in the way of something. And Chris won't be joining us tonight because his kid is sick. So, it makes sense. Normally it's the podcast where you have to wait for the kids to go to bed before we can record. We've missed, well, it's been 2 rounds since we were last together, boys. So we might have to jump back into Leogang for a bit. But to be honest, I kind of forgot a lot of what went on there other than the real highlights like Lachie Stevens McNab, friend of the show, putting into 3rd place. I mean, what a ride. What a storming comeback after that devastating crash in Poland.
Unreal, eh? What a legend. He's starting to show himself real good and proper.
He's solid, real solid.
That'd be hard to turn it around from, like on the run of your life, crashing out. And then backing that up with the 3rd, like a lot of guys would, they'd be back to sort of 30th sort of thing.
Yeah.
Bashing their head against the wall.
You've seen it so many times, right, where they like come in and are so close and then go backwards like that. But man, that was a very impressive turnaround. And it showed that, like, it wasn't just a one-off in Poland. Like, it wasn't just that track suited him or anything like that. He's right there, which is awesome. But that was a run. He went up into the lead by 4.4 seconds. I was like, far out. This is this is on one. So that was pretty awesome.
Did you think he might have had it? Or did you think it was... Because I thought he'd be getting pretty damn close.
Yeah, I guess he was pretty early on, so it was kind of hard to say, but it definitely made it exciting to watch the rest of the riders kind of, as those splits bounce back and forth. But yeah, I wasn't sure because, I mean, when you're going up against a guy like Bruni and Finn Isles, it's always hard to see where they're going to put it down in the finals, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
I mean,
Always
Finn was
expect
also a sleeper too because he literally slept on the qualifying and semi-final day.
Yeah, didn't even race them. That was wild, actually, to go from using his protected status to not have to do anything other than cross the beam and then goes into second in finals. That was pretty impressive.
Do you reckon that was just he had no pressure on himself and was like, well, we'll just get what we can get here and sail it on through?
Could have been. I mean, someone who's not here on the show tonight famously said to the boys years ago that Finn will never make it. And I was really hoping he would be on here so I could bring that up. But unfortunately, we just have to go.
Maybe that's why he didn't turn up.
Maybe after 2 solid weekends from Finn, he's realised that he needs to go back on his word.
He choked on eating his own words.
Yeah. But I think maybe the more exciting race from Leogang was the junior women's because holy shit, man, those Kiwi juniors. I don't know if I could spend enough time talking about how good they're all riding. Like it's just been incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we can talk about how good they're riding after this weekend. Like that was phenomenal, both.
Yeah. I mean, Leogang was awesome. They, Ellie put in a pretty decent. I think she had like a 6-second or so margin in qualifying, but then bit of rain had definitely caused some chaos by the looks of things racing. Through the junior men. The junior men were just buck wild. Like those, they just send it. Juniors will never change. It's awesome.
Oh, do you tune in live sometimes? I tune in live if the timing works, and man, it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
It's so insane.
It's like it's the last run of their life.
Yeah. Like, jumping forward, did you see Ace of Amet's save?
Holy shit.
Last weekend?
Yeah, that was
he was dead.
Yeah.
I
thought it was over.
That would have been season ender, I reckon. Like you would have
put up the
slapped
tombstone right
so
there on
hard.
one of those little white crosses.
R.I.P.
Yeah, he was done.
Absolutely. There'd be a ghost bike put on the side of the track for him.
Yeah. But yeah, Leogang, I mean, Erice put down just a solid run. Took the win. Ellie, I think I held my breath for most of that run because through the woods, I thought she was going to crash multiple times, and how she held it together for second, that was very impressive. But
yeah, absolutely.
Sacha, I think, was actually the best of the lot. Man, she was riding super good till that crash caught her out. But they're all going to be there. Like, I don't think it'll be long before Sacha takes wins one of these last rounds.
Yeah, I think if you, I don't know if we want to talk about the girls at Val Di Sole now, but
yeah, go on.
To
bounce over that way.
Well, to just keep backing it up, like that's so impressive. And for Ellie fastest woman's time of the weekend, wasn't it?
That was insane, yeah.
Seriously impressive. And just watching her run, I was watching it with Byron and Kai the other day, and Iron Banger, I think, was around as well. And we were just like watching her run, and we're like, oh man, she's going good. And it wasn't until we started watching the elite women's that we actually realized how good she was going, because some of the elites just did not look anywhere near as sound on the bike as Ellie did. Like, that was a seriously impressive ride.
Yeah, she's super strong, and you can see it. Like some of the stuff she manages to hold on to, and that, like, you can see that strength comes through.
Yeah, absolutely.
I find it quite
Sacha
fascinating.
As well was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I find it quite fascinating watching the three of them because they're all quite different on the bike. They've all got different riding styles, and they all look quite different the way they ride. So it's actually quite a good watch between Ellie, Sacha, and Erice. They're putting on a clinic at the moment, though. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
So now Ellie leads the overall by 5 points over Erice, so it's super tight. And then I think the girl Heather that won the first 2 rounds is in third, and then Sacha in fourth. So it's all to play for.
Yeah, she's pretty tight. And what about the men's or the junior men's? I think, who was the top guy in the end? Kiwi.
We had Luke Wayman in fifth, and then Ollie in sixth. So
yeah, right. They
solid.
both laid down pretty good runs too.
Yeah, it's kind of what I've been waiting to see out of Ollie, because he's obviously super fast, but he's had a bit of a rough start to the season, and I thought he would have been up around that area, so it's good to see that come out.
Even Stidey, actually, wasn't he 10th?
No, he was back in about 20.
Oh, was he?
20 something, yeah. But good on him getting into the finals. That was his second World Cup and made it into the finals, so it was another good one.
That's pretty good. That's impressive.
So now there's even obviously the junior women have kind of been overshadowing everything with their dominance, but Luke Wayman has been sneaky consistent. Like, he's riding super well.
Where's he in points?
That's right.
Do you know?
I'm not sure, but he's been right around that, like, kind of top 5 pretty much all season. So he should be right in there, which is awesome.
You could all of us were watching the other night. We're super impressed with the juniors racing. Like, it's actually really well worth tuning into,
That kid on the Commensale team,
yeah.
Oren, whatever
Holren,
his,
yeah.
he's
31.
he's legit. Him and Asa, they're going to be those next guys that are coming. They're like, that next kind of Loris, Amory, sort of they'll be those next guys that come in. The junior just phenoms.
Yeah, totally. No doubt.
And I think that kid, actually both of them are first year juniors. So far out. These there's just a whole nother level these days. Like it's insane.
What do you think it is? Because I went to the Christchurch Adventure Park a couple of weeks back, and it was pretty damn packed. But the amount of kids I thought was really impressive, and like they're riding entry level Trek fuels and doing backflips on the mulch jump and stuff. Like, it's just the level that high now. Like, it's quite incredible.
It's like that in Rotorua too. Like, riding on the weekend, there's kids they're on downhill bikes, but they're just doing laps on the downhill tracks, in the wet. So that's just you give those boys 3 years, and they're the next woman, I don't know, whoever.
Lachie Stevens McNab.
Yeah. It's the same old story. You build it and they'll come, and it's just like if the facility's there, the riding just breeds itself, right?
Do you reckon it's that? And do you also obviously that ability to ride that stuff is huge. Like when first time I went and raced in Rotorua, there was no shuttle. The downhill track was essentially where the downhill track still is today, but we only shuttled for the race. There was no shuttle running all the time. So that obviously makes a huge difference. But do you reckon the generation now with the visibility they've got of watching shit on YouTube, watching these World Cups, I reckon that's got to help too. Because
100%.
We didn't see anything. So
I totally agree. I was thinking that watching the juniors the other day, it's just a different time, because back in the day, you might get a DVD or a video or whatever to be able to then gauge what speed looks like. But when you're being fed that every 5 minutes on your phone, if somebody's going fast or not, because you've got a gauge there right in front of you to kind of gauge that, to judge that. And I think it works too in the whole free ride and dirt jump side of things. Kids now, like you say, Red Dog, doing the flips on the Fuel EX on the mulch, that's no thing anymore,
No. They don't even know that it's a big
flips
deal
on the gram. Exactly. Yeah.
It's a wild generation.
It's a different time, boys.
Isn't it? You're really starting to feel your age with this. I think, man, feel really old. I also think the access to equipment and everything too. The bikes are clearly so much better than they were in our kind of generation. But then you look at these kids like Asa and was it Max Oren that won? I can't think of what his first name is.
Max,
they're on legitimate teams. They have no shortage of top guys teaching them everything, how they should be training, how they should be racing. Their bikes are they're not going to be riding bikes that are one size too big in the hope that it'll fit them through to next season and shit like that. They are racing like a legitimate World Cup pro. So that's got to make a huge difference to that speed as well.
Totally. I think just the general commitment to, even Rotorua on the weekend again, you're seeing kids riding Yetis and stuff like that when they're 16, 15.
Yeah.
That just elevates your own level so high.
Yeah. I went riding with a group from the local college here earlier last year, and one of them rolls up and he's 14 and he's on a brand new Forbidden, high-end Forbidden. I'm just man, how time has changed. It was there was one kid who hadn't ridden a bike for months and months and was just on some real shitty hardtail, and then this other kid at the other end of the juxtaposition on a full noise Forbidden. You're wow, it's a big change here.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that's cool though. The sport's healthy, which is good. Maybe maybe bikes as a whole aren't that healthy if you start looking at the industry, but at least the sport's healthy.
What's,
Racing's good.
what is interesting though is that we've got this level of racing, yet our national series is still pretty lackluster.
Yeah, how's that? That Mountain Bike New Zealand put a post up a few days ago saying that literally no clubs have put their hands up to run a national downhill round for next year.
Yeah,
Really?
It's shocking. Like that.
The OTB podcast run one.
Should we maybe run a series? Like we could go and do private events everywhere.
Get into it, boys.
I was hoping you might take the lead on this one, Lester. I don't think I've got enough time.
I really thought this was your wheelhouse, Lester. We were just all the ideas, men.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not good at execution, eh?
Yeah, I hope you'd be the executioner on that one, but yeah, it's like, I know it's pretty disappointing that that's kind of where it's at. You know, we've got places like Christchurch Adventure Park. You know, you've got Coronet Peak, who, to be fair, they've run national champs for the last few years, so maybe they're looking for a break. But then you've got Cardrona. Yeah, I know Rotorua is going to be national champ, so I think, yeah, obviously they won't be having a national round as well. So we'll have to move 26-inch champs to the North Island this year, boys, after Rotorua.
Got to share the love, eh?
Yeah, that's good. Good to get them back up there. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I don't know, it's a bit wild where it's gone. Like whether there's not enough money coming for this to actually be affordable. I mean, we know they're all pretty much volunteer run, but the clubs have still got to try and come out of it with something.
Unfortunately for the riders, like what it does too is it pushes the accessibility to being one of those top level riders really to those who have the means to be racing overseas, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to be doing any racing at home or very little racing at home to get any points or anything like that, it's really just about having enough point to get to Europe and hope for the best over there.
I mean, the peak of like when we were racing the national series, it would be like 6 rounds. 2 of them would have UCI points, plus national champs would have UCI points. Like it was almost kind of relatively easy to get your points to go racing. Whereas now it's, yeah, I mean, now we've gone the complete opposite to where no one even wants to hold a round next year by the looks of it. So,
yeah, that'll be very interesting to see what pans out, won't it?
Yeah, don't know how to fix that. But anyway, I had a note here, Val Di Sole. That place definitely produces the best racing of any venue, I reckon. Changed my mind. Like,
can't do it. Can't change your mind.
I tend to agree.
There's always something good there. You like look back at the era of like world champs when Hill was just on that insane run and crashes near the end, or like that Gwyn run in like 2012 or whatever it was, where he just put 7.5, 8 seconds into everyone, and then kind of same thing happened again all over again in the weekend with Amory. Like the Coda's run, when I watched that, and you know he put in a big margin when he came through. That was a run where I was like, okay, he's finally won it. You know, like he's going to win this. I didn't think anyone was going to beat that. And then Amory just decimates him. Like it was insane.
Yeah, that was savage, eh? That was so good. I was the same. I saw Dax run and I was like, oh, he might have finally done it. You know, this could be his big moment. And next minute,
that was like a bit of vintage Amory in terms of speed, but he didn't look out of control either. You know, like his year, you know, a few years ago when he won a lot, you know, against Bruni, but he still looked like he was on the edge. But I thought this weekend he just looked insanely solid. Like he was just on the perfect run.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. He's in the past. He's a lot of the time, especially on a track like that, he's looked like he's been on the edge of crashing so many times, on the verge of crashing. And this time, he seemed to be just calm and collected. Well, relatively so.
And yeah, that was a pretty fucking amazing run, really. To be blunt on it, that was probably the biggest one I reckon we'll see the rest of the season. I don't think you'll see much top that one in terms of a margin anyway. And yeah, Dak had to be pretty annoyed. I think he thought he'd had it. I still don't know how he rides with those bars. The bike just looks so wrong.
Yeah. Totally.
I had a note here. Finn got third, and will he ever make it? But unfortunately, Chris isn't here to answer it. But I think Finn's made it. Like, he is, without doubt, the number 2 guy here.
In the series?
Yeah, in the series. Like, consistent-wise, overall-wise. I mean,
yeah, I think so.
So you think it's Loic 1, Finn 2?
yeah, that's my... Well, I mean, if you look at the points, he is second overall. So that's my kind of, like, Loic number 1, Finn number 2.
You wouldn't put Emery number 2? Thinking going forward.
I mean, if we're going forward through the rest, we've got 2 World Cups in France and then Mont Saint Anne. So, yeah, there's a good chance that Emery leapfrogs Finn. But, I don't know, Finn's been solid, other than his obviously not racing semis and qualifying last weekend. But it's hard to knock how solid he's been this year.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that although Emery's been really good, I don't think we're going to see him be so consistent just because he's been out for a while, you know? I mean, fair play if he does, then that's unreal, but I don't quite think it'll be like that.
Do you reckon jumping all the way to the finals, do you reckon Finn wins Mont Saint Anne?
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a wild stab out here that the 2 rounds in France, one goes to Emery, one goes to Finn, one goes to Loic, and then Finn wins Mont Saint Anne.
Is that all the racing we have left? That's
and Andorra world champs.
Yeah.
So there's only 2 World Cups left?
3 World Cups, 2 in France and Mont Saint Anne, and then
I would be surprised if Finn won in Canada. Well, in Mont Saint Anne.
Oof, you reckon? Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah.
Well,
He's done it.
I guess.
He's done it before.
Yeah, I don't know.
He'll do it again. Probably.
Yeah. I don't know. That's my theory. Throw some money at it. But
All right. There's a dozen on it then. There we go.
All right. We'll go there. Is this just a
dozen shandies?
Is this just a he wins or doesn't win though? Because I feel like the odds are heavily in your favour.
Yeah, well, that's what we were talking about.
All right, we'll circle back to that one. We'll take that one offline. Some other office buzzwords we can put into it.
We'll put a pin in that.
Yeah. Red Dog, a man close to your heart. Troy Brosnan, back on the podium. Man, he is back to Mr. Consistency this season.
Oh, man. But you say he's after my heart, but it breaks every time he doesn't win because he promises so much. You watch him, Kiwi. Promises so much.
Can you believe he's only won 2 World Cups?
I know. That's insane, eh?
That's pretty nuts, eh?
He's got to be like the best guy ever to not have like a bunch of World Cup wins.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of another example. Like, surely not.
I wonder who has had more podiums than him.
I saw a video like on Instagram. It was, I don't know where it popped up, but him and Millie Johnson, his teammate, were counting up all his podiums and like seeing what his podium rate was. But I mean, you've got to look at guys like Manar and Petey who had pretty long careers, obviously well up there. But in the current day and age, I don't think anyone would have as many podiums as him.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
What would you rather have,
field?
the big wins or podiums, numbers of podiums?
Give me some big wins.
Yeah, I think so.
What do you mean by big wins?
Well, winning a World Cup, I guess.
Yeah, I'll quite happily take a World Cup win.
Like winning big, like Sam Hill-esque stuff?
Well, no, just winning full stop. Because that would be a bonus, right? If they were all that kind of 14-second margin. But I think just winning full stop would be, if I was in his shoes, which clearly I'm not and never have even been close to being in his shoes, I'd rather be getting the big wins than having multiple podiums. You'd almost just be a has-been man, or I nearly was.
Yeah. Said a couple.
Do you guys wear the same size shoe?
Pretty frustrating.
Troy's pretty small.
Troy probably do have pretty I'm a solid US 9.
Sample size.
Yeah.
It's handy.
Oh, you sample
Sometimes.
size. That is handy.
It
Right.
hasn't really helped me out much, to be fair.
Tani's win was pretty cool too. Man, she's had a rough couple of
Yeah,
years.
that was
so
cool.
it was good to see her take a win again. She's been looking like it, it's looking like it's been coming the last couple of rounds, and that was a good win, a deserved win.
Great win.
Yeah, I agree.
Well deserved.
Jess blew it, qualified first, broke her hand.
Yeah.
So that was that sucks, because she's just been getting stronger and stronger. So that's a bummer. Last practice run as well.
When is the next round?
About to, not this weekend, but the next, I think.
Oh, she won't be right for that.
Nah, hopefully
The one
it's
after.
only a metacarpal, the one in your hand, the bones in your hand, like behind your fingers.
Yeah.
So maybe she could sit out that and be back for Andorra for World Champs, because that's like August. So hopefully,
Yeah, true.
she should be able to make the end of the season anyway, because metacarpal, kind of painful, but should be able to heal up pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. Give it a month, she'll be back in it. Yeah, it is a bummer though, because especially this year when she's like come out and said, committing to the downhill, not going to do the hardline stuff, yada yada, and then to have that happen anyway, it's kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's a bummer. Rough race for Valley. At least it kind of mixed things up a bit, but there was a couple of big crashes from her over the weekend.
She was crook, eh?
Yeah, she was crook.
I think she was sick as well, yeah. So, yeah.
Soldiered on though, didn't she?
I mean, it's pretty clear that she is the top in the elite woman. Like, she's just on another level, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, no doubt about
I'd
that.
agree with that. Yeah.
It's
so stylish on the bike. Like she's really good to watch, eh?
Yeah, her
Unlike
whips are pretty
Hoffman.
impressive. Like she
that-
throws down some like tidy looking whips and everything too.
Yeah, fully. Yeah,
That last one
very
looked over the last jump thingy.
Yeah,
looked
over
great.
that bridge. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, man, that was legit.
Way better than
Yeah,
I
that's
could
sick.
do.
You know who surprised me in the top 10 was Dylan Maples in the men's.
Yeah, sneaky good.
Yeah.
Sneaky good.
Yeah, that was cool, eh?
I was actually looking through the results, and there was 3 Americans in the top 10, which is wild. It's been a while since they've had any sort of strength like that in there.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, Dak, Dylan, and Luca in 9th.
That's interesting, eh? Because the cross country riders seem to be on the up as well, and even like completely different sport, but they also on the road are starting to show their heads again as well.
Yeah,
so it's an interesting time for the US and cycling in general.
On a bit of a come up again.
It's been a while.
But yeah, it was pretty interesting. There was 2 French, 3 Americans, the 2 Irish boys, of course, in there that we're now just used to seeing in there, and Ronan and Oisin, which those 2 are just like have come up super strong. So it was a bit of a lockout. Danny Hart in 10th. I was also quite impressed with that. I was like, man, pretty good for the old boy.
Yeah, it was quite funny because we watched his run or something or other. We're like, oh no, another muzzer for Danny, like looking at the time. And then looking at the results, we're like, actually, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty legit.
Solid. Like, that's no different to what he would have been previously, I think. So
No, like that was good. How about Richie Rude back on the downhill bike into finals?
Yeah. Such an operator. Do you think any of the other enduro guys could get into finals? Like off the bat like that?
Or I don't think so. Not coming straight off an EDR race weekend. I don't reckon they would.
Nah, I don't reckon neither.
Nah, no way.
I mean, maybe more.
Yeah. I guess it would depend on how much they'd been actually like riding a downhill bike as well.
Yeah.
So always a hard one, but he's a trooper, man. Such a legend.
Oh, absolute legend.
Toby Meek made it into finals, which was
Yeah.
good. He was actually riding real solid. There was a pretty unfortunate crash, but he was 7th at the first split, so he was actually on he was having a really good weekend. But
Yeah, he's been up there the last. Well, he qualified well as well. Leogang, didn't he? But then obviously didn't make the final.
no,
He's doing something right.
yeah, no, he's coming on strong. Lachie didn't make finals, unfortunately. I think he had a mechanical.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think that's what I read was a mechanical. So that was a bummer. From obviously we talked about the highs of the last weekend in Leogang, but I'm sure we'll see that turn back around pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened? Do you know? Like what kind of mechanical?
I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure that's what I read. I'm sure I already had a mechanical.
Right.
So,
Bummer.
Loic is basically a full race ahead in points
Wow.
Yeah, that's nuts.
after 4 rounds.
That's impressive.
He's not far off it. My quick math isn't very good, but he's at about 280-ish points in the lead. So
Very cool.
it's,
He's unreal at the moment, eh?
Yeah.
So good.
Mr. Just solid. Like his worst day's been last weekend with a 5th. So I'd say
He looked off, eh?
Yeah.
He looked off.
I think though do you think it maybe was the course, because it's the kind of course we've really got to be on the verge of crashing the whole way to be really fast on it. Maybe not on the verge.
Kind of
of
feels to
crashing,
me
but-
like that's not his sort of style, like
exactly, yeah. So maybe he
Yeah.
just pegs it back and goes, okay, I'm here for the long game.
I don't know if I can ever really think of like a Bruni standout at like Val Di Sole. There's nothing that really pops into my mind of being like, yeah, he's had a really good one there.
Do you know what I think? And I think I saw it. You see it with Loris a bit as well. When the conditions are changing, he makes less sense of it. So, like, if he's uncertain on the conditions, he seems to be apprehensive, whereas other guys will just take it on.
Risk it.
Yeah, like face value and be like, I think it'll be dry, and just go hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it seems like Loic is a big kind of wants to be locked in, and everything.
Yeah.
Like generally it looks like everything is dialed in, like his bike, his lines and everything. So it's pretty good point. When there is that questionable nature of like what's the track actually looking like, then maybe that's where it changes his approach a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. No, he's unreal, that guy. Where would you
Absolutely unreal.
I mean, when it's all said and done, and I've got no idea how much longer he's going to be racing for, because he looks like he's still just at the peak of his game. But like, he's got to be the next guy where you're talking about like Nico, Minar, Bruni. Like he's got to be right in that conversation, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. He's got to be.
His his World Championship wins alone, and then what he's been doing with World Cup wins and overalls, he's one of those guys that's going to be an all-time great.
Oh, absolutely. And he's not done yet either, so.
No, I feel like you could see another 5 years out of him.
Oh, quite happily, I would have. Well, maybe not happily, but it certainly seems
no
that way.
doubt. I would have thought there's no doubt about that.
He just stays healthy, doesn't he?
That's it.
Yes, it's not often he gets hurt, knock on wood, but he's he's super solid. He just seems to have it all together. Like team's dialed, bike's dialed, he's fit, he's strong, he knows how to race. Like he's just got everything he needs locked in.
Yeah.
Do we know what all of his buttons are about yet?
Extended boost. Not sure.
They've
They've
just
just
one of
got
those like bop it things where you like got to twist it, pull
it's
it.
to keep him focused mid run.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
He's got to be.
Sure anyway.
He's got to be changing compression. Surely it's got to be like a
Yeah, I mean,
mid-lockout and a lockout or something like that.
there's so many buttons though, eh? Like, how the heck does he keep track
What's he
of
got?
what's going on?
Three on the left-hand side, I think.
Yeah.
Surely it's got to be like an open, a mid, and a
Open,
firm
mid,
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd think so, eh?
It'll be hard to think about though, I feel. Some tracks it would work all right. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I found the start of the Leogang coverage for about the first 3 minutes of the run so boring. Everything until they got into the trees, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I just let it wash over me, eh?
Mm.
I just let it wash over me, and sit there, because if I mess with the Apple TV thing, it'll rewind right to the start. So I just have to sit there and let it.
I used a lot
come.
of skip forward 10-second
Oh, did
options.
you?
Yeah. I couldn't take it, especially with the drone that was. I don't even know if it was a drone. I think they might have been filming from a satellite because it was so high. So that just did nothing for me to watch. It was so boring.
Elon had beamed it in from like a Starlink or something.
Yeah, not even a Starlink satellite filming them.
Yeah.
Something like that. Google Earth, maybe. Maybe the budget's gone down.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going from. I went off that tangent, but that's all right. This is what we do here.
Well, you found your way
Indeed.
back.
We did. Have you watched the Minar documentary it's up on YouTube?
No, I haven't actually.
No, I
I
haven't.
will, I think.
Yeah, you should. It's pretty interesting. There's a lot of bashing from Minar and Roscott and Kathy Sessler on how the syndicate team just wasn't what it used to be, and
Oh wow.
yeah,
Really?
it's super interesting. Like they hit it pretty hard. Like
Really?
yeah, sort of a real, this isn't what we built, and the right people aren't doing it anymore, and it doesn't have the right support, and blah blah blah, and but then it's kind of funny because it's all that, and then the documentary kind of goes off on while Greg was having the season that he wanted to forget, and blah blah blah.
Mm.
The team won Team of the Year, and Jackson won. Was the only rider to win 2 rounds, and sort of like it was kind of pretty interesting.
There's not a lot going on with that team at the moment, is there? Really?
No, it's a bit of
Davis, he went down like a sack actually. Jeez, that would have hurt.
Oh, he did. That looked horrific. You could see he was in pain as he just got up, took the goggles off, and walked away. Left his bike on the course.
Yeah, that looked so painful.
Somehow.
Yeah, he was done.
Did you see the Pinky's crash as well at the top?
Yeah.
Pinkerton? Yeah, man, he went down too.
Really?
That did not look fun.
No.
Sacked.
Just high speed in that right, he was just on the deck.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Crashing himself and my fantasy team in one fell swoop.
Down
Right.
the flames.
I had a note on here, and this is a good segue. I just wrote fantasy sucks. I fucking hate that game.
Like, if Pink Bike HQ gets burnt to the ground, I'll know why. Because some fantasy players just had enough.
You know what pisses me off, though, is that your team only gets points from the finals. So, like...
Yeah, that sucks.
Why do they not just give the same amount of points that the riders get for the weekend? Because the only points I actually scored in the end was I had Amory and Tani, so I had the 2 winners, but they are the only 2 people that scored points for me, so I still did shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that game. It's the worst.
How did you do, Lisa? Have you been keeping up?
Man, I don't think I've ever played a fantasy game in my life.
Yeah, it's a wise move.
Do you know what? I score best when I forget to change the team, and it just doesn't for me.
This is automatic.
Yeah,
I had
Just
Angel
like
Suarez on my team, and I don't even know where he was. I didn't even know if he was at the race.
Was he?
That's a good point.
I never saw his name anywhere, so I was like, shit,
Yeah.
I blew that one. And then I had Ollie Davis, who hit the deck, and Lachie, unfortunately, didn't qualify. And then I had Jess, who, if Jess had made finals, I probably would have made pretty good bank out of, well, she did make finals if she'd raced finals. And yeah, would have had a good one. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Oh, well, luckily fantasy is just that, a fantasy.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit. Anyway, somebody by the name of D Holidays and someone else by the name of Mooney10 tied the OTB Fantasy League. So,
Did they?
Yeah, good on those two guys or girls, whoever they are. Ben Maxwell is leading, who I believe might actually be Sammy Maxwell's brother from a bit of intel I
Really?
got. Yeah, so he's leading.
Really?
He's leading our league.
Maybe he's got inside information.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe
He's
Sammy's
feeding. He's not feeding the backs.
she's sending him info from downhill at Val Di Sole. I'm sure that's where it'll be coming from. Red Dog, I've got 3 topics for you that you can choose from.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Unbound Gravel, the Tour de France documentary, or our shortest day ride that is coming up this weekend?
I mean, I'm going to regret it. I don't really want to talk about the Tour de France documentary. It's what it is. What it is.
Top tip:
I
if
wanna
you
hear
do
you-
watch it, turn the subtitles on because fuck, the voiceovers are so bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
you
are pretty
can't voice
bad,
it.
eh?
No way.
Yeah, it's one of the, and you know all those sports documentaries on Netflix. It's one of the worstly executed ones. I
Yeah, it's
reckon.
actually pretty bad.
Yeah,
You reckon?
which is a shame. No, I want to hear your guys' take on Unbound. I don't know.
You sound like you've
I'll
got
cut
a
you.
hot take coming in.
I'll cut you off when you start talking about hydration systems and Aero socks that you scored off AliExpress.
Leicester, not me.
You guys are just jealous of my. I said they were $7. They're actually $6.37.
Oh, was that with free shipping?
They were in with another order, so the
Ah,
shipping
right.
was actually free. Yeah.
What else was in the order? Anything?
Well, I ordered a little thing to mount my Garmin under the saddle on my track bike,
Okay.
but I ended up ordering the wrong thing. Luckily, that was like $5.
I ordered something to mount my Wahoo, and I ended up ordering the wrong thing. Very misleading. What's on
Yeah,
there?
that's
Yeah,
AliExpress for you.
What my
There it
problem
is.
was you could select the different picture for the different thing that
Yep.
you wanted, and at some
Yep.
point I must have like selected the wrong one
I think that's
while I
what
was
I've
looking
done.
through them. Yeah, easy to happen.
Hey, support local. Stop buying shit off AliExpress.
Well, if I can
I-
find it local, sure.
Yeah, that was the same. I actually went into a bike store looking for it, and they told me, they were like, "Wow, you might as well just buy it off AliExpress."
Yeah,
So that's what I did.
top quality service. Fair enough. No, I don't really have that much to talk about of Unbound Gravel, other than the
Unbound
fact
was
that
pretty cool, though.
Lachie Morton's a legend, and he won using no power data or anything, which is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. What, really? Is that his deal, is it?
He just went
Yeah,
out.
I think
He
so.
went out on him and another dude just went out on a big break, and they just sent it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds like it's just from what you hear through the grapevine, the internet. It certainly sounds like it played out a lot different to it has other years. And
Yeah,
it's getting to
big
that
time.
real top tier level now where it's not just a fitness competition anymore, which is pretty cool.
Now, what's the
So-
dude that's the gravel world champ, Mahoric?
Yeah.
There was 3 of them from their team. Like, they went there to win. Like, they sent a team of them to put him in the front, basically. But then he broke a wheel.
And he just kept flatting, I think, didn't he?
Yeah.
As well?
Yeah. So,
Did you see there was a clip of him saying, "I'm not going to do this anymore" or something?
no.
You guys can keep doing this. It's too rough out here, or something or other. Something along those lines. I'm not coming back.
Fair.
Yeah, but very cool to see like that event kind of, the way it's raced, just evolving as the sport's evolving, I reckon.
I don't know. I think those, that one's cooked. That's 320 Ks, and it looks fucked. Like, I want no part of that. But I just think these big events, like these mass participation events, are just what is bringing everyone in these days. It's like the Wacky, It's like you've got people at the front who are racing for a win, or you've got people who just want to finish. Or then you've got that dude who did the miler on a downhill bike. So,
What?
who's pretty much on a downhill bike. I think he was on what's those, like a Nikolai or something with a triple clamp on it.
That's right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Why?
insanity.
And then there was another dude who did it in full Troy Lee downhill kit. Shout out to that guy. He didn't do the mile, he did the 100. He was in, I think he was on a hardtail, and he was in Troy Lee sprint downhill pants and a sprint jersey.
Whoa, that's brutal.
So,
Yeah, interesting you say that, KB. I was talking to a pretty big bike wholesaler in New Zealand today, and asking them about road and what's going on with road, because we're seeing less and less like proper road races happening anywhere in the country, really. And they were like, like with the racing, the road stuff dropping off because of, traffic management and yada yada. That's what's pushing everyone into gravel, which is interesting because there's still really, apart from a few in the South Island, there's still really no gravel racing around.
Nah.
North Island's probably got one now. Oh, maybe two actually. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that in New Zealand.
Yeah. It's kind of like what Enduro did to downhill a few years ago. It's like downhill kind of became the unaccessible event, and apparently is completely inaccessible for 2025. But it's like Enduro did the same sort of thing where it became like the everyman sport, and people all got into it, and it went really big, and then it almost went backwards again because it got super specialized, and it wasn't really just a show up and have a fun day of just getting through it anymore.
Yeah, that's certainly the risk that they're going to take with the likes of an Unbound or something like that. But
yeah,
I think just the volume of people involved will mean that maybe it will never get to that.
Yeah.
But that'll be interesting because you think about the back. Oh, we're getting way off a tangent here, but the back in the day, the Round Taupo bike race, right?
Yeah, that was always huge.
It was insane. It was, I can't remember the numbers, but it was like 13,000 people or something riding around.
Really?
Yeah, it was huge, absolutely massive, and that over the years has just kind of dwindled and dying a slow death. But those numbers, some of those numbers have gone into the gravel event and the mountain bike event, but it's certainly not to the same extent that the road has died off. So
yeah,
interesting times all around.
Can I just I'll hypothesize one reason why these gravel events won't take off. One, who really wants to ride gravel for like 300 k's? Like, great.
Yeah.
Two, and this is partly why I was late today, KB. Who the hell wants to
gravel?
who wants to put bar tape on some bars? It sucks. That's the worst design for a bike ever.
Taping
I don't
bars
want to
does
wrap
suck.
something around a chew. It sucks. Come be better, gravel / road. Be better. Someone has to work this out.
You just go full aero and run it without tape. That'd be really uncomfortable.
Yeah, there you go.
I did install some nice Envy stuff, which was actually probably the best stuff I've put on.
Yeah, excellent.
What were you putting this on?
My gravel bike.
Was it your steel gravel bike?
Yeah.
This was our other
for
topic.
comfort.
Is that Red Dog is coming to Nelson on Friday night, and we're doing not quite shortest day, but we're going for a shortest day, longish. I called it the shortest day, longish ride. We're going out for 220 k's on Saturday, and the weather's not looking like it's playing balls, but we're committed.
Looking better, wasn't it? Looking better.
Either way, we're committed. I'm just going to stop looking.
Nelson always rains when I go. Sunshine cap.
Yeah, I'm the same with that. Well, it sucks.
Yeah, such a blowout.
So, did you manage to find any hills to go over, or are you just sticking to the flats?
Well,
what he's telling me about.
We're actually just riding the ultimate baby boomer e-bike path, the Great Taste Trail. So there's not a lot of hills in there. They're not, the boomers aren't big fans of the hills. The actual biggest climb, we actually don't even go to the peak of because we go through the tunnel and through the Spooners Tunnel. So we don't even get over the top of that one. So
thank goodness.
Yeah, that saves us a bit of elevation.
Lucky.
Oh, man, the weather does look bad, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're committed there, Red Dog.
For a Sunday.
Oh, that's your day that you're riding home.
Yeah.
Are you riding home as well, Red Dog?
Yeah, I wanted to do a Moki-esque trip, really back it up.
I'm really missing out.
What are you just going to go State Highway 6?
I was going to go the Mongatapu, but I don't know if that's a good idea.
Could be.
I've heard really steep from multiple sources.
It's pretty steep on the Nelson side, and then it's just like, I'm pretty sure it's baby head boulders on the other side. So,
yeah. So maybe not.
Maybe not.
I'm not geared for that. I'm not geared for steep.
Nah, it might not be the best move.
So maybe I'll ride the highway until I get to like Havelock and then go Queen Charlotte.
Yeah.
Like some stuff there.
Good option. Tuck in the back roads.
Is there back roads?
Well, through the Queen Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
Off the main highway anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a go. Yeah, I'm pretty jealous actually, boys. I'd love a couple of big days out. It'll be good.
It's all right. We've got big days coming, Lester. The Walker will be here before we know it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Got a couple of things up my sleeve. Boys.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
He's always got something up his sleeve, Red
Yeah.
Dog. Hasn't he?
He goes,
To be revealed.
there's something.
To be revealed. It'll probably be a New Zealand mountain biker article, so you'll be able to find it there.
It will be. Yeah.
Maybe not.
Oh, might be in Cycle Journal then.
Let's wait and see. Can't give too much away. Got to keep a bit of suspense.
You're like Red Dog, you got to play the cards close to your chest.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
The main difference is I don't have a coach, but
Yeah.
I thought AI was doing your coaching.
well, yeah, actually, funny you say that because Kevin actually texted me after that episode we were taking the mickey about coaches, and said he'd put the Fokker into ChatGPT, and it spat out actually a pretty good training program.
Yeah, he sent me that as well. He was like, yeah, it actually didn't do too bad.
And so I got in there and had a look myself, and I was like, actually, this kind of all makes sense here. And yeah, it actually, I was like, oh, that actually does look pretty good. But yeah, I'll just flail around.
Yeah.
So
My mission is just to not cramp horrifically, so I'm just going to try and actually do some reasonable sized rides beforehand. So that's where I'll go.
yeah,
That's my training plan out in the open.
I tell you, my key this year is going to be bigger rides, and I'm going to do some gnarly heat adaptation.
Oh, he's going heat adaptation. He's turning the heaters on in the garage.
Heat adaptation.
He's doing training in the sauna.
Because
What does that mean?
I'm real bad with the heat, right? And it seems to be that time of year is always like the first hot weekend. So I'm going to try and
It's been nice the last few years. It's going to rain now.
You will fight it. If it rains, that just works even better for me.
Keeps you cool.
I will be in the spray painter's suit on my bike in my spare room with the heater going.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yep.
Oh,
That's all I'm going to say though, because there's some specifics around the protocol, but I'll keep those to myself. So you're taking the piss, you don't need to know the details.
I love how everyone's got this plan. Like everyone's got their own plan of how they're going to attack it. So all I got to do is understand how to stop.
yeah,
cramping.
but I didn't expect Moki's plan to be suit up in a painter's overall and sweat till he passes out.
Yeah, Jim is going to find him just slumped over the handlebars.
In a
It's
pool.
actually you should look into it, Red Dog, because I tell you what, it would be a real problem to come from the cold and dreary old Wellington to really hot, humid Rotorua, and all this training that you're doing, the miles and miles that you've already started doing,
Yep.
and the wheels
Yeah.
all just fall off because you overheat.
Yeah, I'm actually not
I'd
too
hate that
bad
for
in the
you.
heat, Moki. It's surprising, I know. I know it's surprising 'cause I'm like the whitest dude alive.
It's because all the
Too bad in the
sunblock you've got on you keeps you cool.
Yeah.
The heat bounces off your skin.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear how much you hate life when you start doing like intervals and shit like that. You'll be like, why am I doing this?
Oh,
It's
you
just
asked Chris. You asked Chris how we went on. He joined in on a session.
Did he?
He sure did.
How did
Yeah.
did he make it?
Yeah. We're just doing some, light efforts.
Oh yeah, some light efforts. He's been doing a bit of running, has he? Just to stay
Yeah.
fit.
No, we were running. That's how he joined in.
Right, you were doing some running efforts.
Yeah, look, we're cross code. We're multi codes here.
Oh man, I'm getting worried. I can't even run.
Nah, it's not good for
Yeah,
you.
you should be actually.
I
That
can't
Port of
wait.
Tauranga triathlon that we're going to do, you'll be no good there, Lester.
Port of Tauranga triathlon. No, you will not find me there.
Isn't that what we're training for?
I was going to say you were going off piste here if that's where you're heading.
I'll be right if
Absolutely
it's
not.
really hot.
Yeah, because you'll come straight off the port. You'll be in your painter's suit.
Yeah,
You would have just been down in the bowels of a boat painting or sandblasting or some shit, and then you'll come out and just keep running.
Exactly.
Far out.
Yeah.
Just
So-
like usual. Well sidetracked.
Indeed.
But I think that's probably it. We've run out of things to talk about with downhill racing, and we've gone just completely sideways in terms of heat adaptation and Red Dog's training program. So probably a good time to sign off.
Is that us? Is it? Is that? I mean, we talked about Val Di Sole for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Unbound the conversation.
Yeah.
And that's
Try-
it.
Tried to stay off the unbound one too much. We've put a reasonable amount of time in. Yeah, we've put a solid effort in.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I do want to say there's one other thing. Just going back to the racing, Ronan
Yeah.
Dunn having scored that Red Bull helmet.
Mm.
And then I said, well, now he's gone away from the golf ball, he'll never win again. And so far I'm
You're
right.
so
you-
accurate.
You're 2
That's
rounds
cool.
in. You're holding on to that one.
If ever there was a time to return to the golf ball, it was Val Di Sole. I mean, Italy is the home of the golf ball.
Italy is the home of the golf ball. There's been many notorious golf ball Italians,
Yeah,
golf ball headed Italians.
Did
they'd take you down.
Did you guys see the chat? I think it might have been on the Vital forum of someone talking about how many Red Bulls Ronan Dunn was drinking before he got on Red Bull. And it was like six in the day before his run or something.
Oh my god!
No, that's
I don't know.
mental.
I mean, there was just varying people saying, "I've seen him drinking this many, whatever."
I don't think I've drank 6 Red Bulls over the last 12 years, all up.
I had 2 the week before last.
Shit.
Did you?
Yeah, got a little supply actually.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, here we
here
go.
we go.
Liam from
Here we
Mountain
go.
Biking
Watch out for the review coming in New Zealand Mountain Biker.
Yeah, here
There'll be
it
no
comes.
review on that.
Leicester's
But-
Red Bull review.
The cold Red Bull though, it is hard to beat. Definitely after a big hard training day.
Ice cold Red Bull being cracked open.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking, Red Dog.
Lachie boys on the
Wow.
weekend.
Sideways as always, but another
Okay.
great one. Always good to chat to you boys. I don't know when we're actually going to do another one of these. I guess it'll be in a couple of weeks' time after the next round in France. But we'll keep our loyal listeners posted if anyone's actually made it this far. That is. But otherwise, we'll see you next week.